Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, get your cocktails ready. The show is about to begin in let's go with 30 seconds. And go.
A little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
Get yours today, indeed, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. I am the Old Humble Guy. This is the Old Humble Distilling Company Wednesday night happy hour. Whiskey-fueled nonsense is what we do. You bring the nonsense, I'll bring the fuel. Let's get this party started, shall we? Which one am I going to be drinking tonight? I think I'm going to go with the Blackout Bourbon tonight. We're going to go with our Boomtown Blackout Bourbon. A delightful concoction made with literally the tears of millions. Cheers, everybody. We made this whiskey after harvesting rainwater from the Great Freeze of 2021, I believe it was. What are we going to do today is the great question. Tater Dom, welcome to the party. Sunflowers, welcome to the party. I haven't seen you consistently, but I love seeing you when you pop into the house. Cheers. I've got some things I'm going to try out today. I've got three things I'm going to try out today. Cheers. As usual, I'm going to do the updates on the distillery, let y'all know what's going on. This is kind of my town hall opportunity to tell the public of what's going on around the distillery. I've got a lot of work going on the next 2 weeks. We're bottling up gin for my gin guy. I am bottling up whiskey for me, the whiskey guy. I'm getting new labels coming in for my special reserve. My special reserve whiskey up here over my right shoulder. Actually, it's over my. Is it over my left shoulder? It's over my right shoulder. It is over my right shoulder. There it is, right over my right shoulder. I'm bottling up our special reserve, which means I need new labels because I got 2 barrels of that maturing in the next couple of weeks. So I need new labels coming for our special reserve. I'll be bottling up our rye next month, December. It is November 1st. I'm going to be putting in the walls of the tasting room. We'll be putting in the actual sheetrock walls and actually walling in the tasting room. I have an event on the 11th. I have an event on the 15th of December where I am presenting the reasons behind our double reverse osmosis water filtration system and why we gather rainwater at the distillery instead of using groundwater, well water or groundwater. Jesus. And then I got a whole run of tastings this month. I'm working the election next month. Or as I like to say, I am working the polls. Working the polls. So we just got a whole shit ton of stuff to do. So that's the updates of the distillery. I do have a new segment that I want to try this thing out. If I like the way this works, I'm actually going to have a graphic for it. I'm going to have a graphic, a separate scene where we do the graphic and I do the thing. And then that's the end of the thing. And then we'll come back to the regular stuff. And then we got the topic of the day, or maybe I'll do the topic of the day and the topic of the week, whatever. And then we'll do the thing. the little mini rant thing, because I'm not going to have those every week, but I'm going to do that. The segment's going to be called "Here's something I need to get off my chest," and it's probably going to be something like what I did last week when I had the argument with the boomer on Facebook. It's probably going to be some dumb Facebook thing that I saw and it just irritated me, and I accidentally stepped in the shit. My mistake. I don't mean to. Trust me, I don't like it when I step in the shit, and you don't realize you do it until after you've done it. You step in the shit and you look down and go, "Oh man, it's all over my shoe." But it's like you make one comment, and then some dumbass comes back and makes another comment, and then you're like, "You know what? You're a fucking dumbass." And then like next thing you know, boom, you've stepped in the shit. Maybe that'll be the name of the set. I haven't decided on the name of the segment. Right now, the segment's going to be called "I Need to Get This Off My Chest." I'm gonna have a funny graphic like the alien popping out of the chest. We need to get this off my chest. It's gonna be funny. But I don't know if I'm going to stick with that yet. We'll see. I do want to thank my new subscribers. We have pushed it up over 2,480. We are approaching 2,490. I thought we might hit 2,500 by the end of October, but we did not. We should hit, it's entirely likely, it's very likely that we hit 3,000 by the end of the year. It's a bit of a stretch. Cheers, Tater Don. It's a bit of a stretch hitting 3,000 by the end of the year, but it's possible. It's not out of the question. We'll see. We'll see. It's not out of the question. We'll see. But also the topic of today, power ranking Halloween candy. This is my son's hoard, my son's stash. This is what he gathered up yesterday. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't looked through it. I haven't pawed through his candy. We're going to open up that bag. We're going to see what he got. One of my sons is one of my three boys, but they all went to the same neighborhood, so they all got the same stuff. We're going to power rank the candy. One is already peanut butter cup. That's a given. But there are things that can knock the peanut butter cup out of its position as the supreme candiness. There's the full-size candy bars. There could be a full-size Snickers in there, full-size Butterfinger. I think we've seen a full-size Butterfinger. I think my wife scoped that out already. But that's what we're going to do. And I already know Twizzlers are garbage. Twizzlers are just straight up hot garbage. They're trash. They're trash candies. They're the worst. They're worse than candy corns. I'll eat candy corns, but I will not eat a damn Twizzler. Candy corn, at least, I mean, it's waxy, it's sugary, whatever. But okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Nose itches. So today, I was in College Station, Texas. College Station is about an hour and a half north of my house, which is on the north side of Houston in Humble, Texas. College Station is towards Austin, but not in. So you go northwest of Houston, and then this way is Austin, and this way is College Station, and down here is Houston. So it's a little podunk college town. Oh, let's say a little podunk college town. The college in College Station is Texas A&M, and the student population at Texas A&M is something like 50,000 souls. On game day at College Station, they are a city of 150,000 people at least. Just the stadium itself has 100,000 people, 100,000 seats in the stadium itself. It's not a big town, especially in the summer when the college empties out. It's maybe, I don't know, what is it, 50,000 people? What's the population of College Station? Let me look that up real quick. Population College Station. Population of College Station is 120,000 people. But I swear to God, when the student population of Texas A and M student population is 72,000 of those 120,000 people are students at the University of Texas A&M. So in the summertime, it's maybe 50,000 people in that town. Maybe. And on college game day in Texas A&M at College Station, on a game day, there's 100,000 people in the stadium. So the population of College Station on game day balloons up to maybe 250,000 because there's people that come into the town, they don't go to the games. There's people that go to the game. It's a small town in Texas. When it's not, well, I take that back. It's a normal sized town. 100,000 people, 150,000 people. It's a normal sized town. When in the summertime, it's a small city, 50,000 people. During game day, it's a pretty good sized city, 250,000 people, give or take. I was there selling whiskey today. It's about an hour and a half outside of Houston. Called up the store, said, "Hey, y'all need to make sure you have 2 cases on hand because this is my Gen X phone. Y'all need to make sure you have 2 cases on hand because I'm the owner of the distillery. I sign the bottles. I sell a shit ton of whiskey. I'm good for at least a case. If you bring me 15 people, I'll sell 12 bottles. Okay, make sure you have 2 cases because I'm going to go through the first case and I'm going to leave you sold out. And you need to have another case right behind it so that y'all aren't sold out when I leave." The case that we ordered, the cases that I ordered, first, they didn't order 2 cases, they ordered 1 case. Second, that case is showing up tomorrow. The case is showing up tomorrow. My distributor is delivering the case that I needed today, tomorrow. It's like they don't want to fucking sell whiskey. They could have unloaded 2 cases, but instead, they're only unloading 1. It's like they don't want to, like they don't. That's not even the most frustrating thing. Not even the most frustrating thing. The most frustrating thing is that I took 3 hours out of my life, drove to College Station, and drove back from College Station for 3 fucking bottles. And what's worse, the tasting was at 5 o'clock. So when I was done with the tasting at almost 5:45, it took me 45 minutes to sell 3 bottles. I would have sold a full case plus today had I been there for the full 3 hours. But when I was done, tried to go to the bars and restaurants around College Station, and guess what? It's dinner time. Ain't nobody want to talk to a salesman at dinner time. Your bar doesn't want to talk to anybody at 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening. They're getting ready for the crowd that's going to come in. They don't want to taste my stuff. They don't want to taste my liquor. They don't want to talk to me. They're getting busy. They're getting ready. Time to talk to those guys, noon, 12, 1, 2 o'clock. But I didn't have time at 12, 1, 2 o'clock. I was busy working here in Houston where I stopped working to drive to College Station to sell 3 goddamn bottles of whiskey. Fuck my life. But it's the life I chose. Cheers. And truthfully, it's a good life. I enjoy it. I enjoy what I do. I really do. I enjoy what I do. I would like to be able to go there on a weekend when there's a football game. I have made a commitment to go to San Antonio for a football game. UTSA tailgate party in San Antonio. I promised I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but it is on my list of things to do. We'll switch over to live chat. But, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. Needless to say, it's been a busy day. I will be dropping back into College Station in the next couple of weeks, couple of months for sure. What is this a scene? Nope, not the one I want. Although I can do this. Put that up here. Oh yeah, okay. So when I attempt to do the thing today, I'm going to try and do that. When I do my segment where I'm like this, I got to get this off my chest. I'm going to go to that. Because that's like a clean screen and I can cut that boop boop out of the show. I can cut it out of the recorder. I can make a short out of it. I got to get this off my chest. Let's talk about that. That may replace the car rants because I don't really have time. Now, the car rants are easy to do for the most part because I just like pop open the camera on my computer, on my phone. I can like hold it over here while I'm driving and drive and have the camera over here kind of glance. But it's really kind of shitty because you're looking up into you're looking from down here. So you're looking, this is the angle of my face that you get. That's not a good angle. That's not a good look. Ain't nobody need to see that. Oh, I forgot to give a thanks to my patrons and super fans. My super fans, William Hall, Mr. Jiggs. Thank you, gentlemen, for your support of the show. William Hall did, in fact, win. Can you see it back there? Did, in fact, win this box. I'm not even going to lie to you anymore, man. I haven't put it in the mail yet. Uh, he did, in fact, win this box, but I have cut out the bubble wrap for it. I have the box. The box is here. The bubble wrap's at the distillery. So it's like I got to get all the pieces together. And every time I go to the distillery in the morning, I forget the box, this box, and I forget that box. And I need to have everything together. Um, I haven't even printed out the delivery form because the delivery form I haven't had ink from my printer. I just got ink from my printer today, so I'll be able to print out the delivery form, have the delivery form ready to go, have the box built. This box is ready. Everything's gonna be put together, ready to go. I just gotta like assemble the parts. And tomorrow I've got to bring my kid to the DMV. But after that, we're doing it. We're going. We're rolling. We're rolling. Friday at the latest, I hope. Knock on wood. Have your box out. William Hall, one of my super fans, along with Mr. Jiggs. I'm feeling guilty about it, is what it is. I'm feeling guilty about not having done it yet. I know I need to get it done. You won that stuff. I need to get it in your hands. But it's on its way. I mean, it's not like on its way physically right now, but it's coming. All the pieces are coming together slowly but surely. They're all coming together. Anyway, big thanks to my super fans. Big fat thanks to my super fans. William, Mr. Jiggs. Y'all are helping to support the channel. Y'all are going to be helping me get new equipment when it comes time for me to when I have enough money to get the new equipment. When I get my first check, the first $100 check from the YouTube people. Hopefully it'll be next month. We're racing towards that magic number. You too can be a super fan for only $2 a month. You can be a super fan for $5 a month. You can be a wildcatter. Wildcatters get the additional privilege of members-only videos, along with sip-along, which will mostly be sip-alongs, but there'll be some other stuff too. But you will get samples of my whiskey, along with invitations to shows where you can come and join me for a private sip-along, where you get the sample, you get me. We talk with each other about the whiskey, what you like about it, what you hate about it. You become my marketing team, my research team, telling me if I'm doing a good job or not, telling me if it's worth bringing to market, telling me if it's worth having it all. Whiskey, brandy, gin, vodka, all the stuff that we're going to be making over the next 12 months. You're going to get a chance to sample some of that. We'll be able to talk about it. And if we record the show, if we like the show, we'll make the members only participation. We'll make it a public show if you're okay with that. Also, live music from the distillery, live shows from the distillery, live events from the distillery. You will be able to watch them as we make them. And if we have live panels, you get priority choice of invitation to those panels. Along with members only chat, which members only chat, obviously super fans get access to the members only chat and invitations to join members only panels. The roughneck tier, the top tier, $25 a month. You get to name the distillery. You get to name the studio of the distillery for a month or 6 months, however many, for whatever portion your membership is of a year. If there's three Wildcat members, you can name that distillery for 4 months. If there's 6, you name it for 2. If there's 1, you name it for 12. So, we got to divvy that up. So everybody gets a shot at it every year. But right now, for $25 a month, you get to name the distillery, name the distillery's studio, whatever it is, for the entire next 12 months. You can name it. You can name the tasting room, Old Humble, and the Old Humble Distilling Company will be broadcasting live from my pee-pee smells like poo-poo because you eat the doo-doo studio, if that's what you wish to name it. I don't know why you would wish to, and I will say, as named by whoever you are, naming that the studio that ridiculous name. Thank you, Steve. I am gonna read all the comments in just a minute. I read it. I'm going to read it out loud in just a minute. We're going to get to that. That segment of the show is coming third. But what I think I'm going to do, we're going to try this new segment. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try it. So the plan is that I can do this like next level. I'm going to stay centered right here because it's going to be like it's going to be a segment of the show that I can physically cut out of the show and drop it as a long video and then cut a short out of that longer video. Long video being 2 minutes or whatever. And like I said, it's mostly going to be stuff that I pulled out of Facebook, some dumb comment shit that I saw, and most of the time I try to avoid it. This is the meta commentary on the commentary that's about to come. Most of the time I try to avoid it. I see shit and I see stuff on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and I look at it and I'm like, do I want to be involved in listening to the comments on this crap? The answer almost all the time is no. I don't want to see my notifications blow up with 1,000 other people going, oh, that's nice, that's great, awesome, fantastic, congratulations. I'll just like give it a thumbs up and move on and just fucking ignore it forever. But every once in a while, somebody asks a question and you're like, look, this is a dumb question, sorry. And being relatively helpful, not necessarily nice, but relatively helpful. And then some other dumb little Karen jumps in and says, you don't have to be mean about it. Like, actually, you should be mean about it because this is a stupid fucking thing. Sometimes people need to be told, yes, you should be a waitress and you're not a good singer. Right? Okay. But generally, I try to avoid it. And what generally happens is you try to avoid it and, you look down after a couple of steps and you're like, oh, crap, I stepped in the shit. And it's because it's on your boot. And you're like, ah, damn it. What am I going to do? You got to scrape the shit off. And just the best thing to do is just bail. Just fuck it. You're not going to win the conversation. Who cares? You're not going to win a fucking argument. It's not even a conversation. Nobody's listening. Nobody cares. Who cares? Fucking strangers on the internet. So what? Go on by. But that said, I got to get this off my chest. I got to get this off my chest. I got to get this. Hang on. We're going to go back and try that again. That was bad. That was a bad transition. There's a main cam view. I got to get this off my chest. Let's go to camera 2. I got to get this off my chest. Look, every once in a while you see a post. You see a post in a forum. You see a post on a message board. You see a post on a Facebook something or another, on Twitter. My son is looking for work. My kid wants to know where to find student organizations. My daughter wants to find out how to get a hairstylist job. Look, I get it. I get it, Mom, Dad. Y'all mean well. You do. You mean well. You mean well. You're trying to get your little baby off the couch. You're trying to give him a little nudge, trying to give him a little bit of support. But here's the thing. As an employer, if I see a post saying, my son's looking for work, I immediately disqualify your son from working at my organization because your son didn't have enough initiative to ask himself. Your daughter didn't have enough initiative to ask. Your kid's looking for student organizations to join at the University of wherever. Your kid has not gone to school. Your kid has not paid any damn attention on campus. You know how hard it is to ignore flyers for student organizations on campuses? You know how hard it is to go to school and avoid the student activity center? You know how hard it is during football season to not find an organization to participate in school functions at a university? Do you know? I'm assuming, of course, your university has a football team. I mean, if it's MIT, it's going to be tough to find a football program supporting organization. But you know what? MIT has so many student organizations; they don't need a football program. There's on the first day of school, there are people in the dormitories, there's people in the classrooms, there's people in the hallways, there's people at the food court, there's people everywhere. There are flyers on bulletin boards all over the school. There's a place called the Student Activities Center. You want to find out where student activities are? Maybe go to the place that has those words in its name. You want to find a gay, lesbian, alternative lifestyle, whatever, friendly organization? You cannot go to school at a major university in the United States of America and not find the global organization. It's the one under the rainbow flag. Everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. Everybody can find it because it's the only organization that has the rainbow flag in the whole goddamn student center. The Student Activity Center has, and it's right there, prominent. Whoosh, there it is. Your baby doesn't have enough initiative to go to school. Your baby doesn't have enough initiative to talk to people. Your baby doesn't have enough initiative to get into these programs themselves. Your baby is not going to have any fun when you show up, wipe the schmutz off their cheek, tell them to have a wonderful day and make friends, and I love you as they go into the organization's house party. Your baby is going to be mortified. Your baby should be mortified because your baby is a grown-ass adult going to a university in America. Your baby is learning how to be a full-grown adult person. Meanwhile, you're hovering over your baby and letting him shuffle out from under your skirt. Your baby's friends are going to just ruin his life. And he deserves it because he doesn't have enough initiative to fucking go out and meet his own friends. You're still organizing play dates for your grown-ass kids. Quit doing that. Quit calling up employers like, will you hire my son? Nope. I'm not going to hire your goddamn son because your son didn't bother to call me. Have your son call me and let me tell your son to his face that I'm not going to hire him because he's too busy playing Call of Duty while you make phone calls to employers to try and get them to hire your lazy ass kid. Anyway, I need to get that off my chest. Back to the show. Cheers. Wrong screen. There it is. All right. So I'm going to try this. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I'm going to clip that out of the show. Where was it? 10:45 to 11 o'clock. I got to write that down in a notebook somewhere. Give me that. 10:45 to 11 o'clock should be the times, roughly. It's not perfect, but that's in the neighborhood. 10:45 to 11 o'clock. 10:45 to 11 o'clock off my chest. I should be able to cut that into a short. I may not. My hands were like all over the place. But man, that shit just that legitimately pisses me off. I mean, and I get it too. Parents, you're trying to help. You're trying to give your little babies a nudge. But your baby's got to get up off their ass and go get their own nudges. Your baby's got to get up and go make something out of themselves. You're not going to make your baby into something. And if you try to make your baby into something, your baby is going to be a useless pile of garbage. So quit trying to make your baby into something. Let your baby go make himself into something. Anyway, where are we? 11 o'clock. It's time to move over to chat. It's time for the Old Humble After Night segment of the show. Let's move on. We're going to go to chat. All topics are open. All topics are open. There's not a topic that is inappropriate. There's not a topic that I won't touch. There's not a topic I won't go to. You want to talk about Mike Johnson, whatever his name is? You want to talk about the new speaker? We'll talk about the new speaker. You want to talk about the election in Texas next week? Fine. There's nothing really to talk about. It's a very boring, dumb subject. You want to talk about the Rangers winning the World Series finally for the first time? Congratulations, little brothers. You got a trophy. Congratulations. And you had to go through us to get it. You're welcome. You want to talk about, I don't know, whatever. I'm open. Let's go. 1-800 Old Humble Chat. Callers, lines are open. Let's go. Where is my chat box? There it is. All right, so I'm going to scroll up to the last chat that I saw. We were talking about A&M being 120,000 people. It really isn't a. Okay, so when I talk about city sizes, I've been spoiled by the city of Houston. Like I know, like a quarter million people in a city is a big city for normal size cities. A quarter million is a normal size city. In Texas, we have Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin. All four of those cities are a million plus. Corpus Christi, I think, is like a half. Hey Siri, how many people live in Corpus Christi? Come on. 325,000 people in Corpus Christi. Hey Siri, how many people live in Galveston, Texas? I think Galveston's like 150. Um, Galveston City, population per square mile. I don't need to know fucking population per square mile. Population of 53,000. Okay, so population of Galveston is like 50,000. It's very much a suburb of the city of Houston. Um, but I've been spoiled by Houston because, I've lived here all my life, and like Houston is a city, right? That's my definition of a city, is the city of Houston. Humble has 15,000 people in it. The city of Houston has 2.5 million people in Houston proper, 2.7 in Houston proper, and like 6.2 in the metro area. It's a big smear of humans habitation across the entire Gulf Coast, or not the entire Gulf Coast, but a good chunk of the Gulf Coast. Corpus Christi is a real city, and it's like 350,000 people. But even like little bedroom communities around Houston, like my neighborhood here has 15,000 people. My subdivision, Fall Creek, down to the other end of this one, the Humble, Kingwood, Atascocita area where I live, which is a large suburban area, is 125,000 people. I've been spoiled by the city of Houston because I assume that every place is 6 million people. It's not. When I travel around, you realize that. You go to a real city like St. Louis, that's like 250,000 people, 500,000 people. It's not a huge city, but it's a vibrant, thriving, densely populated urban area. And if you populated the state of, if you populated certain places with the density of the city of Houston, then no, what are those maps? Like if you take the population of New York City and you put it at the density of the city of Houston, then it's like most of the northeastern seaboard is how far that population stretches, right? I didn't do the power rankings of the candy, did I? We didn't do the power rankings of the candy. We'll talk about that with the overnight chat. Power rankings of the candy. Let's see. Number 8 will shock you. But yeah, I've been spoiled by the population of the city of Houston. Like it's dumb. It's so big. That's what she said. All right, let's start with the first thing that comes out of the bag for. This is a popcorn ball. That is garbage. Fun Dip. That's a classic. I like that. So the idea is, I'm going to do kind of a census of candy. See what he's got. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. That's a winner. Fucking trash Twizzlers. This is absolute garbage. The Reese's Cup Kit Kats. These are a popular option. Now here's the other thing to keep in mind. In our neighborhood, everybody goes to the same place to get candy. CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Kroger's. Maybe Dollar General. There's a Dollar General here too. So maybe they went to Dollar General too. But Dollar General has all the same candies as CVS and Walmart and all those places. Another Fun Dip. Here's a Starburst. That's a good one. Milky Way, Kit Kat. Dots? The fuck are these things? Ugh. It's as bad as Twizzlers over there in the trash pile. Oh, what's this? This is it's a little baggie. Okay, so that doesn't count. Curated Halloween events don't count as candy. Here's another Snickers. What the fuck is this? Chewy Lemon Head? Yeah, that goes over there with dots. Gross. Another Reese's Cup. Yeah. Tootsie Roll. Happy Cola from Haribo. Happy Cola. All right. Hershey Kiss. That's a winner. I dropped something. What's this? Extreme Sour Warhead. That's not bad. All right. Put that over there with the Fun Dip. Should be pretty solid on the sampling here. Got another Twix with the Snickers bar. There's a lollipop. We got Skittles. Another Snickers fun size thing. What the hell is this? This is a Sweet Tarts. sweet tart thing. Another Starburst thingy. Another Starburst thingy. Another lollipop that goes over there. Skittles over here. Okay, so we're repeating stuff again. We got a fucking Twizzler. Gross. Oh, look at that. A giant pile of garbage. The giant Twizzler. Ugh. That's just hate in a box. Ooh, hello. I think this might fall out of his bag. He may not get these back. Chips Ahoy. We'll give that to him. What else we got? 100 grand, Kit Kat. So these things come out of the same bag. The 100 grand, Kit Kats. These all come out of the same candy thing. It's the same candies we got. So, nothing exciting there. I'm looking to see if we got a full size anything. We got the, Halloween standards, Sweet Tarts, Smarties, rather. I'm looking to see if we got any full size. Oh, there it is. A full size Butterfinger. This might fall out of his bag, too. Okay, so we got cookies and Butterfingers that are full size. Small size Butterfinger. Okay, so those immediately go to the front of the line, right? When you're power ranking M&Ms, when you're power ranking, you gotta give preference to the full size candies, right? You gotta give preference to the full size candies. And now look, here's the thing. When I was a kid, it was standard operating procedure. Standard operating procedure when I was a kid to go through the candy. And that's because we had this dude here in Houston who was called the Candyman in Houston. And he straight up tried to murder his kids. Houston Candyman murders. Dean Coral. Dean Coral. No, that's not the guy I'm thinking of. Pixie Stick Murder Halloween. Yeah, that's what this dude did. Ron Clark O'Brien. That's the motherfucker. So Ron Clark O'Brien is this dude we had here in Houston. He tried to murder his family with pixie sticks. He was a pharmacist, a former pharmacist. He had gotten fired from his job. Looking to see if there's anything good in here. There's nothing else. That's pretty much everything. I mean, this is a pretty good sampling of what we got down here. Here we go. Airhead. Another Airhead thing. Fun dips. But this dude, Ryan O'Brien, whatever his fucking name was, Ron Clark O'Brien, he bought some of those jumbo-sized pixie sticks. You know, the big long-sized pixie sticks. This was 1975. The big long jumbo-sized pixie sticks, and he popped open the end, and he dumped it out, and he replaced some of it with cyanide. Stirred it in there, mixed it up, shook it up, sealed it back up, and they go out trick-or-treating for Halloween. Him, his kids, his neighbor, and his neighbor's kids. And the whole plan was to poison his children, kill them, and get life insurance payouts for his kids. And before this, the whole concept, the whole idea of poisoning or Reese's Pieces, that's another good one. The whole idea of poisoning of going out on Halloween and getting like razor blades or needles or poison in your candy was it was unheard of. It was unfathomable. Like nobody would do that. Like that's not a thing that would happen, right? That wasn't even something that you would imagine prior to 1975 with this son of a bitch. That was not even something that you would even consider as a possibility. All right, that's it. This is a good sample. But this son of a bitch goes and he gets cyanide and he tries to poison his kids. One of his kids dies. One of his kids gets really sick, and I think one of his neighbor's kids died. I think he killed two kids with this thing, with this scheme of his. Capital murder in June and sentenced to death. He was executed by lethal injection. Um, Halloween with a potassium cyanide laced pixie stick that was ostensibly collected during trick or treat. He poisoned his son in order to claim life insurance money to ease his own financial troubles, as he was $100,000 in debt. He also distributed poison candy to his daughter and 3 other children, that was his neighbor's kids, in an attempt to cover up the crime. However, neither his daughter nor the other children ate the poison candy. The man was convicted. Okay, so it was just the one kid, but he was still a piece of shit. Um, he almost killed his friend's kids, plus his daughter, and his son. He killed his son, but he almost killed 4 other kids for $100,000. And but again, before this, the idea, the concept was unfathomable. This was like a pre 9/11 type of thing, where like prior to 9/11, like nobody's gonna run a plane into a building. That's crazy. Why would they do that? And then they did it, and they're like, oh shit, our imaginations weren't nearly vivid enough to deal with this. So when I was a kid, it was standard operating procedure. When you come home from Halloween, you inspect all the candy. You could bring your candy to the police station for X-rays. You could bring it by the fire station, and they would inspect the candies, and it was a big deal. 1980 through like 1985 or 86, when I was like a wee little lad in elementary school, that was a big deal. It's kind of ceased to be a big deal. Last year they were freaking out, like, oh, you check your gummy bears because you might get CBD laced gummies, you might get drug gummies in your like. Nobody's accidentally putting their $30 gummy bears in your stupid kid's Halloween basket. Don't worry. that was that was like the dumbest scare from for Halloween. It's like, this is the thing that's not happening. Be afraid of it though, boomers and your lead paint addled brains. Anyway, all that said, we haven't looked at my kids' candy, and we're certainly not inspecting it for needles and razor blades and potassium cyanide laced pixie sticks. Besides, potassium cyanide laced pixie sticks taste funny. And that was one of the things that his kid says, like, this tastes funny. I don't think this tastes funny, Dad. I don't know if I like it. He ate the rest of it like a fucking moron. Also, by the way, if your candy tastes weird, don't eat it. Duh. Okay, so all that said, I'm going to steal this from my kid. I am going to steal that one. All that said, because I don't think he. Also, my kids, when they go out for Halloween, like, they don't eat their candy. This is like a trophy for them. They go out and they get it, and this shit will still be here at Easter. We have handed out Halloween candy that my kids collected the year before on Halloween. And it's all the same stuff. It's literally all the same stuff because, like I said, everybody goes to the same stores. There's the Dollar General, the CVS, the Walgreens, the Walmart, and the Kroger's. Everybody goes to the same stores. So everybody has the same. We're not getting exotic candies. Nobody's passing out Toblerones. There's not the one family that passes out Swedish Fish because they went to IKEA and got their candy. There's no exotic candies. This is a middle class suburban neighborhood, mostly white. Let's not lie. Everybody's going to the same places. Everybody's going to the same places. Everybody's getting the same stuff. Nobody's getting scoops of mashed potatoes and cough drops. This isn't some apartment complex where cranky old cranky old 20-somethings don't want to answer the door, so they're like, "Get out of here, kid!" and they throw cough drops in the. No, this isn't that. This isn't that place. But one year I did pass out raw bacon. Because it was just funny as hell. Like every fourth kid got a strip of bacon. Anyway, so I'm gonna group this stuff up. There's a fucking popcorn ball here. That's like a vegetable. That doesn't even count as a thing. So we've got our uh, powdered candies. Our okay, the candy bars. I think we can agree. I think it's safe to agree, with the exception of Mounds bars. Mounds are coconut hatefulness wrapped in chocolate. They're trash. They're the trash of candy bars. Why would you put coconut in a candy bar? I don't know. If you just hate life, I guess that's probably what you're doing. You're just like, I don't like life anymore. Give me coconut. That's what you're doing. Okay, let's get back over to chat. That's what you're doing with a Mounds bar. Almond Joy has joy in its name. It is almonds and joy. Um, but it's almonds, and some people are allergic to almonds, so they suck. Steve says, "Let me say it's obvious that you work a lot to get your product out." I appreciate that, Steve. I do. I try. I could probably do more work, but you know, I thank you for the kind words. That's all. What if the parents did it with the child knowing? What? The parents made decisions for me without. Oh, with the child knowing, like going. Yeah. Well, no. See, there's what. Does anybody have a lead for a job that I can give to my son so that he can go, so that he can call you? There. Yeah, that's the right way to go about it. Anybody hiring? My son's looking for a job. I want to send him your way. Yeah, bingo. But how can I get my son connected with a job? I'm trying to help my son get work. Is anybody hiring my son? He's a very good worker. He blah 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 blah. Fuck that. Tell your son to fucking look for a goddamn job. Not you looking for a job for your son. Your son needs to look for a fucking job. You can get a lead. Hey, anybody hiring? Hey, do you know anybody hiring? I know a guy. I can connect you up. Like, yeah, I'm hiring. I know. If you know a guy, let me know a guy. I need sales guys. Always need sales guys. But anybody looking for a job? Come on. Seriously? Seriously? Fuck that. No. No. But yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm looking for a lead for my kid so he can so he can come to you. So he can come to you. Yes. Yes. But but my sweet little baby is looking for a student organization to join at the university? No, she's not. Your stupid little baby isn't looking for. If your stupid little baby's looking for an organization to join, it's November. It's November. School has been in session since mid-August. That's all of September, all of October, and half of August. Your sweet little baby hasn't found the student activity center yet? Bullshit. Your sweet little baby hasn't tried. Your sweet little baby hasn't looked around. Your sweet little baby hasn't walked past a bulletin board on her way to classes yet. No. I am not buying that bullshit. Not even for a second. No. No. I'm not buying it with nothing. Nope. 11:02. How long will it take for Joe to read chat? I'm reading chat, sunflowers. I'm getting there. I'm trying to mix it in. Where are we at? How far behind am I? Oh, I'm only 20 minutes behind. All right, we're getting this power ranking. The suburb where I live has a population of 22,508. Yeah, Humble has a population of 14,000. But the neighborhood that I live in, this neighborhood has probably. We're not in city limits, is what I mean. We're outside of Houston city limits. We're outside of Humble city limits. This subdivision has probably 50,000 people in it. Probably. This subdivision has more people in it than all of the city of Humble. It's a very large master plan community. Planned community? I don't know if it's a master plan community, but it's a planned community. We have two elementary schools, our own like little sports complex. We've got two pools. It's dumb. It's super huge. It's bigger than it needs to be. It's larger than it needs to be. And the biggest problem is that it's being run by a corporate homeowners association, and it should be run by local local homeowners associations throughout the whole place. We should have 10 local homeowners associations running our own neighborhoods. But we don't do that because we're a master plan community and we're an anonymous, giant, faceless community, which is frustrating. All right, Starburst are gross. I don't disagree. Dots are a gummy type of candy. Okay, so dots are gummies. So we'll move those over here with the gummies. Okay, so I want to organize this. I'm going to call Starbursts gummies for the purpose of categorization. So we've got Starburst, we've got Airheads, Warheads, Skittles. Do I put Skittles in that same category? Chewy lemon heads. I'm gonna put these in with that same category. This stupid cola thing, the gummy category right there. I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna put that over there. I'm gonna put the chocolate category by itself over here. The Snickers and 100 Grands and Kit Kats and all these guys, they go over there. I'm not gonna separate those out. I'm gonna keep those together. The chocolate bar category, right? The Reese's peanut butter cups are the best, so they go over here by themselves. Now we've got do Skittles count as gummies? They're kind of hard coated candy shell fruit. I don't know. I don't want to put those with the gummies, but they don't go with the M&Ms either, right? They're like M&Ms. Oh, I guess we could do that. We could do Skittles and M&Ms and Reese's Pieces together as kind of a group. I think I'm going to put the Hershey Kiss over there. See, Christmas candy that got thrown in with the Halloween stuff. Then we have our powdered stuff, the cocaine, the Fun Dip, lollipops, fucking popcorn ball, whatever that is. There's one house that does that every fucking year. Popcorn ball. I don't think any of them got religious tracts this year, which is, I mean, it's charming and all, but it's really fucking annoying at the same time. Like, we don't need your advertisements. I mean, I refrain from putting advertisements for my distillery in bags too. And then, of course, the Twizzlers that need to go in the trash. These are just fucking trash. This is garbage. I don't know. I know people who like Twizzlers, but I don't like them. Not Twizzlers, the people. I don't like the people who like Twizzlers. They're just bad people. And I say that knowing full well that my lovely wife likes Twizzlers. She's a good person. She's the only good person. No, I take that back. Twizzlers are garbage. Twizzlers are just garbage. Good people can like garbage food. I know that because I know people who drink rum. So there you go. I will judge them harshly, but they're still good people. Okay, so we got Dots, Twix. Whole state of Kentucky population is 4.5 million, which would be like 68% of Houston metro. Yep. I like more land and less people, I suppose. Well, I mean, you can say that, but like Kentucky's not more land either. I mean, that's less land and less people, but I guess it's more land than Houston. Although Houston is the size of Connecticut. I think that's what it was. It's like the population of a state. If you put it in the population density of Houston, how much would it, or population of a country, if you use the density of various, there's like the population density and the population maps. If you took the population of X and you put it into the city of Houston and the city of Houston's density, like it would fill up like the whole state of Texas or something like that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. That's a whole different conversation. But yeah, I mean, that's another one of those things about the city of Houston. It's really big. The population density in Houston is really low because we don't have any natural barriers. We don't have any like rivers, or we have the coastline, which is 90 miles to the south and east of the city. We don't have any mountain ranges. We don't have any canyons. We don't have any natural lakes or rivers to stop our expansion. We have cheap land. We just build another subdivision, put another 100,000 people there on the Katy Freeway, on I-10 on the west side of town. We can put another 100,000 people on the northwest side of town. We put another 100,000 people on the north side of town. We just keep putting another 100,000 people in, another 100,000 people in, another 100,000 people in. We just keep going. I mean, Jesus Christ, we got people who work in the city of Houston who live 35 miles away from their job. I used to commute. I used to commute 22 miles to work every day, both ways. It took me between 45 minutes and an hour and a half to get to work every single day by myself in my car on the freeway. Every single day, hour and a half, both directions. I worked 22 miles from my house. 22 miles. There was a time when that was a long ways to go. That was like a day's trip. But now it's just, that's where we go for the morning. That's when it dawned on me that like Austin wasn't too far for me to drive to go do a tasting for whiskey. If I'm willing to drive an hour and a half to a fucking office that I didn't want to be at, then I should be more than willing to drive an hour and a half to a store in College Station, or an hour and a half to a store in Galveston, or 3 hours to a store in Corpus Christi, or 2 hours to a store in Austin, or hell, 4 hours to a store in Dallas. If I'm willing to spend 3 hours in my car round trip from home to work and back, then I should be willing to spend 4 hours to go to Dallas for 2 days to sell whiskey in 4 stores. It's not too far to drive. Well, I've been to El Paso for that matter, but that El Paso is too far to drive. That's like 13 hours. That's and it's not so much the time, it's when you have to leave to get to the tasting in El Paso in 13 hours. If the tasting's at 5 o'clock, you have to leave at 4 in the morning, assuming everything goes well, because it's a 13-hour drive. I don't want to leave the house at midnight in order to go to work at 5 o'clock in the evening. And if you move the tasting up a little bit earlier, you're driving all night long. And if you're driving, and fine, I'll leave at 5 or 8 p.m., get there at 8 in the morning, and then what am I going to do? Sleep in my car I still got to get a hotel room. It's just the inconvenience of El Paso, the inconvenience of having a city that far away inside your state. God, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable having El Paso's existence is troublesome. And that's like a 500,000. It's a good size, 500,000 people. Hey Siri, how many people live in El Paso? Come on. 675,000 people live in the city of El Paso. That's a good sized city. A gateway to Mexico, Juarez, right down Ciudad Juarez, right there across the border. Or as they say in Mexico, Ciudad Juarez. It's Ciudad Juarez. Thank you very much. Fucking Mexicans don't know how to pronounce their own cities. Ciudad Juarez. Ciudad. Anyway, I've been to Ciudad Juarez. I flirted with a waitress at a bar in Ciudad Juarez. Or as we just call it in Texas, Juarez. Flirted with a waitress in a bar in Juarez. With my very bad, broken Spanish, I asked her if she had a boyfriend. She said no. I think I asked her if she wanted a boyfriend. She also said no. I said, ¿Tiene un novio? She giggled. She said, no. ¿Quiere un novio? She said, no. I said, okay. Yo quiero uno más cerveza, por favor. And she said, no necesito hablar yo. Which I don't know why I still find that funny, but that's like she's giving me Spanish lessons while I'm at the bar trying to order a beer in my very bad Spanish and my very thick Texas accent trying to speak Spanish. Yo quiero uno más cerveza, por favor. She's like, no necesito hablar yo. Solamente quiero una más cerveza. And they're like, oh, gracias. Una más cerveza, por favor. And then they fucking made a song. What's his name? Toby Keith made a song. Isn't that what it is? Toby Keith? They make that song? Una más cerveza, por favor. Senorita. Was that Toby Keith? Or is that... Who sings that song? Who sings Uno más cerveza, por favor? Uno más cerveza, por favor. Tommy Alverson? That doesn't sound right. Really? It can't be him. I don't know who the fuck that is. Oh, it could be him. I don't know. Por favor. A senorita. Who sings that song? Who sings that song? Where is it? A little help here. Is it Jim Morris or Larry Joe Taylor? Uno Mas and Larry Joe got a couple of hits. Uno Mas, like the internet knows what I'm talking about. I will leave it up to y'all, I think. Copy. No, I don't want to do that. All right, fuck this. Who sings Uno Mas Cerveza, Cerveza, por favor? Stop. What? Tommy Alverson. That's what it keeps coming up as. Texas Tornadoes, Tommy Alverson, Tommy Alverson, Tommy Alverson. I'm going to listen to it real quick and see how it sounds, if this is the right recording. Hang on a second. Yep, that's the one. It's him. That's him. Yep, definitely Tommy. Who was it? Tommy Alvarez? And that was a. This is some good fucking YouTube, is what this is. Tommy Alverson is who sings it. Okay. So anyway, all of that to get to the point where I was saying, I still find it hilarious to this day that this sweet little waitress was giving me Spanish lessons at the bar. And then several years, I don't know if that's several years after that, this was, when did that song get released? Back to it. When did the song get released? Song was released. Close that. Song was released. That says 2011. I definitely went to El Paso before 2011. And I have that CD too, the Brewed in Texas CD. I have that CD. I had the actual CD. Uno más cerveza, por favor, señorita. About Tommy Alverson. When was this released? Okay, so let's say it was released sometime around 2011. That's a safe bet. I was in El Paso in 2001. That is about when this particular adventure happened. Anyway, good times. Good times. Was it 2001? No, it was well before 2001. It was 1990. It was right after I graduated college, so it was 1999. Was it 1999? No, it was before 1999 because I'd broken up with my girlfriend, who became my future wife. It would have been 1996. Jesus Christ. That was the bus trip to El Paso when I met a guy who faked his own death in order to keep his inheritance away from his family. God damn. I got some stories to tell about that. Woo! Good times. Anyway, yeah, this was I don't know what her name was, Maria or something, probably. This was Mexico. And everybody in Mexico is named Maria. Let's back to the ranking of the candies, shall we? I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about. Juarez, El Paso. Oh, yeah, the time. And anyway, um, full size bars. Do you know that Halloween candy prices surge 13%? It's more than double inflation. Well, I don't doubt it. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's just fucking candy. They take advantage of the market surge. I'd do it. Um, what's with the doom and gloom story? I don't know which story that was. We got to come back to it. Reese's anything major win. Yep. Trick or treat. Oh, that was the Ron O'Brien story. Yeah. Anyway, no, there was a point to the story. The point of the story was that in the 80s we checked our candy, and now we don't check our candy anymore because that's not a thing. Like it was a one time. It was a one-off thing. This one dude tried to kill his family. Then like they realized it was just one fucking psychopath, and like people aren't putting poison in candy, and they were done. But there was also the dude who poisoned a bunch of Tylenol, which is why we have tamper resistance seals. Anyway, on how far are we behind? It's 11:40. We're still 20 minutes behind on chat. I'll catch up. Don't worry. Mounds are terrible. Almond Joy has joy in the name. They have almonds, but Almond Joy also has coconut with almonds and chocolate. Almond Joy is also bad, but at least they have almonds. Mounds just has coconut. I hate coconut. Coconut is just disgusting. Ugh. Dots are like a gumdrop. Put Skittles with the okay. So yeah, the candy coated candies, right there. Yeah, I'm with you. Skittles and M&Ms and Reese's peanut pieces. Send me the rest of the candy. No. I'm sure your father is a nice guy. Is a very decent human being. But Twizzlers are still garbage. Okay, where were we? Onward. Have I just caught up with chat? I did. I just caught up with chat. Okay. So I'm going to set it right there, and we'll let chat go. Okay, so let's power rank these things. Okay, so I'm a big fan of chocolate. So obviously Reese's Cups are number one. I like M&Ms and Skittles. I like the bite-size, easy-to-eat bags of stuff. Fun Dip is a situational. We got to figure out which is okay. So Twizzlers are the worst. This is candy-flavored wax. It's awful. It's terrible. This one's at least a sour Twizzler. But we got candy-flavored wax. It's not even sour. It's not sweet. It's not sour. It's just like strawberry wax. It's awful. It's the worst. It's disgusting. It's bad. Boo, Twizzlers. They're gone. All right, that's 8. That's what is this? How many categories we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tootsie Roll. Can't leave a Tootsie Roll out. That's kind of a gummy. Where does that go? That goes with the gummies. I'm putting the Tootsie Rolls with the gummies. That's an executive decision I'm making right there. Tootsie Roll goes with the gummies. Booyah. Mr. Jiggs is in the house. Cheers, Mr. Jiggs, one of our supporters and patrons. Super fan himself, Mr. Jiggs. So I'm putting the Tootsie Roll with the Starbursts and Dots and fan on. Jesus, it's hot in here. With all those guys, because it's a chewy candy. I forgot about this thing. I think this is even worse than the Twizzlers. A fucking popcorn ball? Really? I think that's even worse than the Twizzler. I really do. And that's not even a homemade popcorn ball. It's just a store-bought fucking bland, boring wad of popcorn stuck together with caramel or some other shit. Ugh. Like, this is just people who aren't trying. They're just like, oh, I think we'll just do popcorn balls. They won't come back next year. This is clearly people who don't want you to eat or come to their house and bother them for candy. They're horrible people. They get their house egged. That's who gets their house egged this year. They get it. The whiskey is my candy. Just saying. Yeah, I think next year there was one house that gave away Jello shots for the grown-ups. So I think next year I'm definitely going to have samples of whiskey in little sample cups with the lids. Definitely for the grown-ups. Mm. Okay. So so which one? I think the Fun Dip, the Sweet Tarts, and the Smarties all go in the same category together. I think, but I still don't know what to do with the lollipops. Like, where should these be categorized by themselves? I think these have to be categorized. Do they go with the gummies? Do, what do you do with lollipops? Where do these go? Do these go with are they Tootsie Roll Pops? Or this is a chocolate pop. This is a cherry pop. I think lollipops just go in their own category because there's a whole bunch in there too. I think they just go in their own category. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 categories. We have 8 categories, and category 8 will shock you. Fucking stupid title of the show. Stupid clickbaity nonsense. And we do have a full size Butterfinger and a box of Chips Ahoy. Those are the only full size ones we got. Actually, this is a full size Reese's cup. A single Reese's single. That is a full size single Reese's cup. We got the baby Reese's cups too. Those are the top tier is tough because you got the Reese's cups, you got the chocolate bars, and then you got the full size candies. So the top tier, well, that's your top three right there. I don't know how to separate those three. I mean, obviously the Reese's peanut butter cups are better than every other thing ever because it's chocolate and peanut butter. Um, but also you have a full size bar, which is a very close second, and then all the others, which are good. We don't have. I didn't. There weren't any regular Hershey bars, which is great for dipping in chocolate, just scooping chocolate right out of the jar. And that's sad because we had Hershey bars at our house, and I know they had them out there at the stores because they were there because we got them, and there's the same damn stores they went to. My wife didn't go anywhere exotic. She didn't go to the mall to the special candy store to get bags of special candy. All right, so that's the top tier. Definitely the top tier right there. Now the second tier, I mean, you got your candy coated Skittles, M&Ms, and Reese's Pieces tier, like these guys there. And I think, I really do. I think you've got to put those in with the Fun Dips and the Sweet Tarts in that second tier. And I think you put the gummies in with that tier, right? Like the Starbursts and Airheads and Lemon Bombs and shit. You put that in with the same tier, and I think there's a definite 1, 2, 3 in this tier. This is a definite 1. This is a definite 2, and this crap is a definite 3 in this second tier. But all 3 of these, are demonstrably better than the Twizzlers, lollipops, and fucking popcorn balls. Let me see if there's anything else in this bag I can pull out that that is another category of candy that I wasn't thinking of already. Uh, just a handful of stuff: Twizzler, gummies, Twizzler. Oh, we do have a Hershey bar. God damn. Twix, Gumdrop, Lemonhead. That's a candy coated thing. Musketeer, and a ring pop. That's a fucking lollipop. Okay, so like we're not reinventing anything. Like there's nothing else in that bag that's gonna pop out and be like, oh, this is a brand new tier of candy. These are all. This is a good sample, a good, an emblematic example of the spread of candies. So obviously chocolate is better than all the others. Chocolate is better. This is just better. Period. Peanut butter cups are demonstrably better chocolate than any other kind of chocolate. With I say that knowing full well that Hershey's bars can be peanut butter and chocolate, but it really does help to have the peanut butter and chocolate pre-assembled, so you don't have to do it. Full size bars give you added bonus. Butterfingers are awesome. Chocolate again, chocolate peanut butter. Better not lay a finger on my Butterfinger, man. Cheers, Bart Simpson, R.I.P. Well, when he finally rests from doing the show, I think they're going to do that show forever. As long as they're making money on it, they're going to keep doing it. Okay, and then of course the sampling, because you can. I don't think these have calories. I don't think these little bitty ones even count when you eat them. I think you can pretty much eat those all day long, every day, forever, and not have any adverse effects. So that's clear. 1, 2, 3. Reese's full size, and then the fun size candies. I think that's a clear 1, 2, 3 in your top tier. Clearly 1, 2, 3 top tier. Tier 2, I think, also has a fairly clear delineation with your candy coated candies. Whether and you got options on these too. You've got your fruit candy coatings, fruit flavored candy coatings. These aren't fruit. You have your chocolate candy coatings, and then your peanut butter candy coatings. And for my money, I mean, the Reese's Pieces are good, but they're not top tier. They're not the top of this tier. I think the Reese's Pieces are clear number 3 in this particular set. M&M's and Skittles, I could go either way on M&M's and Skittles. I do know that if you mix M&M's and Skittles in the same bowl, you are a terrorist, some kind of fucking psychopath. There's a place for people like you in hell next to people that talk in movies and pedophiles. But so you don't want to mix them together, clearly. But I really do think that these are kind of tied. You got to be in the mood for Skittles versus M&M's. You know, if you want a Skittles, you can't swap it out for an M&M, and if you want an M&M, you can't swap it out for a Skittles. They're not interchangeable, but they're like it's an A option and a B option. If you're in the mood for A, you eat A. If you're in the mood for B, you eat B, and they're equally good if you're in that mood. Nobody's ever in the mood for Reese's Pieces. Never. I mean, it's like, oh, we got Reese's Pieces. Fine, I'll eat a Reese's Pieces. That's the Dr. Pepper of candy coated treats. You got when you go to the place and order your food and you're like, I want a Coke. They go, we got Pepsi. Like, fine, I'll have Dr. Pepper. I want a Pepsi. We only have Coke. Oh, fine, I'll have a Dr. Pepper. We don't have Dr. Pepper. Root beer? Jesus fucking Christ. So yeah, that's that tier. I'm gonna go with 1 and 2, very close 1 and 2. These are kind of interchangeable, but not, they're not substitutable, but they're interchangeable. If you're in the mood for that one, you eat that one, and it's a number 1. If you're in the mood for that one, you eat that one, it's a number 1. That's it. This is a clear and distant number 3. And then the lemon sour head, whatever. This is that's a distant 4th or 5th out of 3. It's terrible. I mean, it's in that category, but it's not like this is a definite last place. There's nothing about that. Does that go with the lollipops? Does that go over there with the pops? I think it does. Because it's not like a chewable candy like the M&Ms and yeah, so that goes over the lollipops. Fuck it. Okay, and then the next tier is where are we at? Are we with the last tier now? Tier 2. Tier 1 was here. Tier 2. No, tier 2 was the gummies, candy coating, and the powdery dips. So the powdery dip, you can put this in water and drink it if you want. I don't know why you would. It's awful. It's an awful idea. Don't do it. Diamond-shaped lollipop rings. Yep. Yep. That goes with the lollipops. Garbage. Terrible. But in this tier 2, where you got your gummy. Okay, so we got the gummies. So the gummies are tough because it's such a wide variety. You know, you have your sour strips, your sour worms, your gummy bears, your gummy worms. You've got your strawberry or starbursts, your lemon heads, your dots, dots. Pretty much anything. I mean, it's really just like soft, sugary, like not like caramel, but like corn syrup and sucrose and fructose mixed together in a chewy little pad of sugary butter, you know? And you can shape that shit however you want. You got dots and gummy bears and gummy worms, and then you can flavor it with sweet and sour versus just the sweet. Myself, I really like the sour shit. I like the sour worms. I like the sour gummies. I like all the sour stuff. I like it a lot. I also like Tootsie Rolls. I know Tootsie Rolls, people think they're trash. You think they're trash. Sunflowers. I love Tootsie Rolls. I've loved Tootsie Rolls ever since I was a little kid. Whatever it is I think I see becomes a Tootsie Roll to me. Tootsie Roll, Tootsie gonna Tootsie my house. I don't know. I don't know the rest of the theme. But whatever it is, I think I see. Commercials used to be way more involved. They had a whole fucking cartoon for the Tootsie Rolls. Whole fucking cartoon. They don't do that shit anymore. It's unfortunate. But see, Airheads, like this is a God damn it. This is the same thing. This is just a fruit roll up, really. Then you get your gummy worms, starbursts. So this is a wide tier. The gummy tier is a wide tier. You got your candy coated, but then you just have your gummy. And I personally would rank them from sweet and sour down to just sweet or flavored. From the sweet sour down to just the flavored. That's how I would do it. And I'm right. So your opinion is wrong. Thank you for playing. um, but I don't see any sweet and sour in this batch. There's this one. This is a sour lemon head. That is extreme sour. So this is going to be the top of this tier. There's fruit. There's cola. Yeah, there's no other sweet and sour. That's it. The actual gummy bears. And again, this is the category where you would accidentally get your drugs, but nobody's putting $30 pouches of gummy bears into your fucking kids Halloween stash. Don't worry. That is a thing that has never happened and will never happen. Ever, ever. But go ahead, boomers. Be scared with your lead paint addled brains. Morons. Okay. So I think that's a solid tier there, all by itself. We got our candy coated chewies and powders of the fruits, of the fruit flavory. I guess, do these count as fruit flavored? Are they supposed to be fruit flavored? They just taste like sugar pills to me. Okay. So now we go into the bottom tier, the fucking garbage tier, the trash tier. Now, without question, the lollipops are the high end of this tier. You got your Jawbreakers, Ring Pops, Tootsie Pops, and everybody knows. If you don't know, you should know. Everybody should know the number of licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. If you know the answer, put it in chat. If you don't know the answer, read chat because you'll find out soon enough. The number of licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. So yeah, that's clearly of the bottom tier. This is clearly the top of the bottom tier. Number one of the two. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 8 will shock you, is what I said in the title of the show. And number 8, this is why I think it shocks us, because who the fuck gives out popcorn balls in 2023? You didn't even take the time to make your own goddamn popcorn ball. It's not hard to make a popcorn ball. You make the little gooey sucrose fructose mix up mash up thing, just like you make a Rice Krispie treat. You take the popcorn, you put it in the gooey shit, you roll it up in a ball, you put it in a cellophane bag, and not a Ziploc bag, but you put it in a little shrink wrap, cling wrap. Yeah, that's what it is. Put a little twist tie on it, and boom, you got your Halloween treat. And you took an effort. You made effort to make a fucking candy that nobody eats anymore. This is a homemade candy. Oh, I don't want to eat a homemade candy. Somebody might have poisoned it. There ain't nobody poisoning your fucking homemade candy. They might put a Brussels sprout in the middle of it. They might put a Brussels sprout in the middle of a popcorn ball, and if they did, you deserve it because you're eating a popcorn ball, you fucking filthy beggars. Jesus. Anyway, that said, that's number 8. Number 8 will shock you. And then, of course, the garbage of it all. Twizzlers. Candy-flavored candle wax. With the exception, of course, with the caveat that Sunflowers says her dad likes these, so we can move them up a little bit. In honor of her father, we will move them up to an honorary 3rd place in the top tier, which, with the caveats and qualifications, puts it at a solid 9th place in all of this. Yeah. So there we go. I'm happy with that. I'm good with that. And this is also a great way to see what kind of candy I'm going to steal from my son. I'm going to take the Sweet Tarts. I know I could take the Butterfinger, but he knows the Butterfinger's in his bag. So if I steal the Butterfinger, plus I can get my own candy. I'm a grown-ass man. I can go to the store and get candy if I want to. But I'm still going to steal this. Take that, kid. No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to steal the Sour Bomb. I'm going to do that. Extreme Sour Lemon Head. I'm pretty sure there's another one in there for him to have. This is what I'm going to have. I like I said, I like the sours. I like the sour. Come on, open up. There it is. All it is a lemon gumdrop. Ooh, but it is sour. Holy shit. Ooh. That is very sour. But like I said, I like the sour. All right. I'll put my kids' candy away. All right, so that's power rankings. And like I said, number 8 will shock you. Number 8 was popcorn ball. We're going to give that out for Halloween next year. That's some... Definitely. Well, the sour kind of wears off after you get through the outer coating. This stuff is garbage. God damn, this tier sucks. The best of the worst is just trash. It was the worst of the medium. It was the worst of the middle. Ugh. Anyway. All right, where were we? Don't steal. Sunflowers wins. It's 3. 3 licks to get to the bottom, to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. What's this? For fun. CandyFavorites.com blog. I'm going to look it up on my phone. Let's see what it is. Candyfavorites.com. Open in Safari. Oh, how many licks does it really take to get the center of a Tootsie Pop? It's 3. I'm not going to read that. It's 3. All right, this is bland now. I got through the outer coating of this tart stuff. The tart is not, the sour is not infused through it. There's a sour on the outside, and the rest of it is just hard, bland candy. It's not like with the sour worms or the sour uh, strips, where it's like coated on the outside, but there's like some inside of it too. But by the time you get the outside chewed on or licked off, you can't taste anything anyway because it's all like gone straight to you. This is a whole goddamn gumdrop now that's just gonna sit there on my tongue and be boring and bland. What a shitty piece of candy. What an absolute shitty piece of candy. Fuck you, lemon heads. God damn, this sucks. Tastes like a Ricola. Ugh. All right, what's next? It's 12:05. I think it's time to wrap this up unless we got another topic to talk about. Who else has something to discuss? What we got? Old Humble After Dark. Phone lines are open. 1-800-CALL-UMBLE. 1-800-CALL-UMBLE. First-time callers get moved to the front. Tell me about your Sasquatch stories. Tell me about your... I'll tell you a scary story that happened on Halloween once. And it's a coincidence that it happened on Halloween. Halloween is not a special night with regards to the occult or spirits or connections to alternate dimensions or anything else. It's just a fucking day of the week. 1 month, 1 day, 1 month out of the year. It's just another day. It's no different than the 15th of June timber. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just a day. We picked it. We're silly. We did the thing. But me and my buddies, we went out trick-or-treating. There was also this one house in our neighborhood back where I used to live. One year, we went to this house, and the chick answered the door. She was in her late 20s, early 30s. Full, proper French maid. They were having some kind of Halloween party. I know what kind of Halloween party. They were having a Halloween sex party. Goddamn, she was gorgeous. And she went, "Oh, you're trick-or-treaters." And she turns around and she bends at the waist to get the candy. And she comes back and she puts the candy in the bag. She says, "Have a great day." And she closes the door. And we're like, bong! Full on boners for this gorgeous woman. Boy. We kept trying to go back year after year after year after year. Could not find the house. It was like a magical fucking house. Because they had built more houses around up and down that street. And we couldn't find the house. Anyway. That's not the story. On the edge of our neighborhood, the edge of the neighborhood was trees, woods. And we would always go hang out in the woods. That's where we hung out. There was occasionally evidence that people stayed in the woods short term. There was never a long-term settlement in the woods. This was really terrible. Hold on. There we go. There was occasionally evidence of like campfires, a tent every once in a while. We knew homeless people, transients would go through these woods, but they didn't stay in the woods long term. Follow what I'm saying? Literally edge of civilization type of people. Well, our neighborhood, the next neighborhood over, they finally connected the two neighborhoods with a road. It wasn't quite done being built yet, but it was in the process of being finished. And we would ride our bikes from one neighborhood to the other through the woods on this road. It was normal. It was normal. It's what we would do. This particular Halloween, we were riding our bikes. We had just finished trick or treating. It was probably 9 o'clock or whatever. It was late. I'm gonna have this fucking lemon drop stuck in my throat. Anyway, it was late. We were cruising around on our bikes. We had our candy, and we see down the street, the unfinished road. We see two guys in like white painters overall, the white painter overalls, just standing in the road. And this is like they shouldn't have been there. They were out of place. It looked weird. It looked strange. They should not have been there. And this was weird. Like we were heading down there, and we were going towards that part of the road. It sends a chill down my spine just thinking about it, talking about it. We were 13, maybe. We're heading that way, and uh, we kind of come around. We come around the turn, like the road. The road goes, and it kind of turns a little bit. So it's like you can't see the far end of it. But as we turn down the road, we see these two guys just like standing in the road, and we hit the brakes. We stop, and we kind of see them turn and look at us because they were like facing each other, talking to each other. And they turned and looked at us, and then they turned their full body to us, and then they started walking towards us. And it was me and Josh and Val and Ron, and it was weird. It was weird. Like these guys shouldn't have been. They were out of place. Is what I'm saying. They were out of place. They shouldn't have been there. Honor, hi, Honor. Cheers. So they start walking towards us, and we're a quarter of a mile away from these guys. We see them down there at the end of the street, and they start like it's like everything about this is out of place. Everything about this is out of place. It was strange. We of course turn our bikes around. And we just take off. We're like, this is fucked up. We're out of here. We take off, and then I don't know where it came from. The van pulls up next to them, and it was a work van. It was a worker's van. It was a workman's van. It pulls up next to them, and they jump in the van. And by now we're fucking freaking out. We are fucking riding our bikes like crazy. We turn right into because this was like at the end of our neighborhood, right? So like the last road of the neighborhood, and then there's this stretch of road that goes to the next neighborhood over, and it goes down. This was West Lake Houston, not West Lake Houston, Upper Lake Drive. Upper Lake Drive. It was the road that it was the last road of our neighborhood. It goes that, and it turns into West Lake Houston Parkway, and then it goes down to where I ended up moving in high school when the neighborhoods got connected. And it was just on the edge of where we were. And I guess this was like where like the van had come up from Upper Lake or West Lake Houston and turned onto Upper Lake Drive and picked these guys up, and then it took off. And we had bailed off of Upper Lake Drive. Like that was the main drag there. You can look this up on Google Maps and see how the neighborhoods kind of come together. But we had bailed off down one of the side roads to go to my buddy Mark's house because that was the closest person that we knew that we could like bail out and go into his house. And we go into Mark's place. We jump off our bikes, run up to Mark's door, bang on the door. Mark, we need to talk. And we go up and we hang out in his room for like an hour. And then when we calm down and chill out, we all get back on our bikes and we head back home. And it was like probably 10 o'clock-ish when we finally got home. But that was my weirdest, scariest Halloween story. And it wasn't ghosts and spirits. It was just a couple of dudes in white paint. My hunch is it was some high school kids who were just fucking around trying to scare kids. That's my hunch. But we'd never run into anything like this since. But well, obviously not since because we were 13. This was probably when we were 13. Uh, it was probably when we were 13 because that's about the time when they finished that road when we were 13 because it was done by the next year's when I moved to the new neighborhood. But yeah, that whole fucking event, and to this day, just thinking about it, sends chills down my spine. These people, assuming these were high school kids who are fucking with people, who are fucking with a couple of middle schoolers or a handful of middle schoolers who were goofing off too late on Halloween night. They did a great job fucking with us because it scared the absolute piss out of the three of us. And to this day, we are all four of us still traumatized by this event. And when I every once in a while when I talk to Josh or every once in a while when I talk to Ron, I don't talk to Val anymore. I haven't talked to him in 25 years, 30 years. Shit, 35 years. Good God. Every once in a while, I talk to Josh, I talk to Ron. I'll be like, "Yeah, you remember that Halloween night?" They're like, "Oh man, don't fucking talk about how that was the scariest fucking night." It was too. We were panicking. We were riding our bikes, so we were just fucking panicking, screaming at each other. This was like a what is it? Stranger Things type of panic where we were. Oh man, God, scares the piss out of me just thinking about it. Cheers again, Honor, H-A-H-N-E-R. Welcome to the party. Thank you for joining us. Whiskey Fueled Nonsense. That's all this is. We've got our we did our candy tiers. Reese's peanut butter cups, full size bars, and chocolate bars. The snacky snack bars. The chocolate is the top tier. The second tier was the hard candies, candy coated chewies and gummies, and that was the second tier. And of course, the candy coated stuff was easily the top of those three. And then the final tier was the lollipops. A fucking popcorn ball was number 8, and number 8 will shock you, is what I said in the title, and I mean it. I'm sticking by that. That will shock you. People actually hand out popcorn balls still. And Twizzlers. Twizzlers are the absolute worst, except for when it comes to Sunflower's father, who likes Twizzlers, in which case they are not the worst, but they are still the worst. Almond Joy Tater Dom would fall into the candy bar category. And as much as I hate Almond Joys because they have coconut in them, Almond Joys would fall into the candy bar category, therefore putting it in the third level of the top tier. So Almond Joys fall into that top tier by default, since they are chocolate candies. They have almonds, but they also have coconut. So by default, though, because they are technically candy bars, they fall into that top tier, even though they have coconut in them, which makes them garbage. They're a contradiction. Another fun thing to check out: the most beloved late night talk show host in the world is the Old Humble guy. The most beloved distiller on YouTube. Most popular Halloween candy in Texas. Oh, what do they say? The most popular Halloween candy in Texas is industry research. Find all the statistics. What the fuck does it say? There's a Sour Patch Kids. No shit. Huh. Well, they're wrong. It's still peanut butter cup, but it's still peanut butter cups. But I'll take it. I like the sour stuff. You afraid the almond would chip a tooth? That is a fair fear. A fair fear that the almond might chip a tooth because almonds are, I mean, they're not soft, you know. Although I think you're more likely to chip a tooth with a with one of the hard candies, like a Airheads or Lemon Drops or even a lollipop. You're more likely to chip a tooth with one of those. Huh. Hmm. But I'm the only issue I have with Almond Joys is the coconut. I mean, I hate coconut. There's no redeeming. If you want to ruin anything, you put coconut on it. Be all like, I want to ruin coconut, or I want to ruin a cake. Here, let's put some coconut on it. I want to, um, I want to ruin a date. Let's go open a coconut. I want to, uh, I want to make happiness. I want to take all the happiness out of my cocktail. So I will make it a coconut flavored cocktail. Yeah, coconuts are the worst. They are the worst. They are, however, they are a fun gag for in the pandemic when I literally bought a coconut and a lime and did the song on video. You put the lime and the coconut for a Facebook video. I'm ashamed of the fact that I even had to say that out loud. Can't believe I did that. But they had coconuts available at Kroger's. They had limes available at Kroger's. And I said, honey, we've got to do this because we're in the middle of a pandemic and I can't help myself. I have to do this. If I don't do this, I'm gonna hate myself until I die. So we did it. Oh God. Ugh. Um, times 16. 20 times 16 is 320. 320 divided by 60 is 5 hours and 5.33 hours. We're doing good tonight. I appreciate you guys' support and watching the show. Watching the show makes a huge difference. I really do appreciate it. Participating in the show also makes a huge difference. Your comments have been hilarious. I've enjoyed the commentary. I've enjoyed the back and forth. Y'all are good folks. Oops, I dropped the cork. Well, that's a problem, but not a problem that has to be solved right now, because all I got to do is pour a drink to continue my whiskey fueled madness. This is going to be the last drink of the show. I am going to at the conclusion of this cocktail, I will wrap things up. So just so you know. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups were named for U.S.'s most popular candy after topping the list in the states Florida, Iowa, Kentucky, New Hampshire, and Wyoming. NorthJersey.com. The Reese's also. Now, there's a lot to be said about Reese's Peanut Butter Cups because they've also got the Crunchy Peanut Butter Cups. They've got the Reese's Peanut Butter Potato Chip Cups, Reese's Pieces Peanut Butter Cups, Reese's Pretzel Cups, where they've got peanut butter and pretzel and a chocolate coating. Reese's White Chocolate Peanut Butter Cups. They've got the Peanut Butter Lover Peanut Butter Cups, Chocolate Lover Peanut Butter Cups, the Big Cups, and then they've got the various versions of the Big Cups, the same versions of the small cups they got for the Big Cups, the Reese's Pieces Big Cups, the potato chip Big Cups, the Crunchy Big Cups. They've got several versions of the Big Cups now. The Big Cups are my favorites, without question. I am a peanut butter and chocolate loving fiend. But they also have, and this is a very important thing to note, they also have Reese's Peanut Butter Cup bars. Chocolate and peanut butter bars. But here's an even more important factoid about Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. You can take a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, cut it into 4 pieces. Take one of the 4 pieces, put it in a cup of water, boil it into that cup of water until it becomes nice and thick, but not too thick to pour, but nice and thick, just a nice thick consistency like a syrup, and then use that peanut butter cup simple syrup to make an old fashioned. Yes. Use a couple of spoonfuls of your Reese's Peanut Butter Cup simple syrup into your old fashioned, and now you have a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup old old-fashioned syrup that you can now use with your rye whiskey. In fact, you can do that with any of these candies. All of these candies are corn syrup, corn, uh, high fructose corn syrup. They're all sugar that's been extruded into a syrup and congealed and coagulated. So you can literally take any one of these candies, put them in water, boil it, break it down. You get the flavor, you get the sugar, and then concentrate it up so that it's a syrup that you can pour, and you can have Skittles simple syrup. You can have Twizzlers simple syrup if that's what you want. Gummy Bear simple syrup. Sweet and sour simple syrup. You can do peanut butter cups, Hershey bars. Maybe not a Twix because they've got the wafers, but you could do like a Three Musketeer, which is mostly air. You can do that. You can boil it in water. I don't know if you'll be able to do it with a Butterfinger because the peanut butter wafers are hard. I don't know if they melt when you boil them, but you can absolutely take just about any candy that melts, put it in water, boil it, reduce it down to a nice syrup, and now you've got that candy syrup for cocktails. Um, it's usually best with just plain old chocolate, um, but you could also do boiled pecans along with. You can boil the pecans and put some cinnamon, brown sugar, um, and other pecan pie spices into your simple syrup. So you get the flavor of the pecans along with all the spices and sweeteners, and then you have a pecan pie old fashioned. You can do the same thing with pumpkin spice. You can do your ginger and brown sugar and cardamom and allspice and uh, cinnamon and sugar and all the other stuff, brown sugar, not white sugar, that goes into a pumpkin spice, that goes into a pumpkin pie and make pumpkin spice old fashions. You can use peppermint sticks along with chocolate, peppermint sticks, chocolate, and a little bit of salt and a little bit of salt to make a peppermint, chocolate peppermint old fashioned, or just simply take a hot cocoa and a little bit of rye and stir it in with a peppermint stick. Way easier than making the old fashioned mix. Um, Twix simple syrup. Yep, there you go. Twix simple syrup. You can absolutely do it. I wasn't sure that the wafers would melt for the Twix, but you can absolutely do it. I'm going to give you hearts for that, as well as a celebratory and 100 whatever. I don't even know. I don't know what those fucking things are for. It's like a TikTok thing. Anyway, Good and Mythical Morning did a taste test by trying every Reese's candy flavor. Great video. I don't want to see. That's the thing. I don't want to try the white chocolate Reese's peanut butter cup. That just sounds dreadful. I don't like white chocolate. It's not chocolate. It's white, but it's not chocolate. It's white goop. I don't like it. I don't like white chocolate. I don't like the idea. I don't like the plan. They can do the video. That's fine. I'll stick to whiskey stuff and whiskey fueled nonsense. I am, however, going to. I am working on a plan to make a perfect, improved uh, Bloody Mary. We did the show on Bloody Marys. I still have Bloody Mary mixers, the tomato juice. I still have this shit. I've got 5 cans of that crap. So it seems that doing a Bloody Mary, an improved Bloody Mary show. Like I'm on record as saying Bloody Marys are garbage, but there's got to be a way to make a Bloody Mary better. And maybe I'll do it with an actual bartender. I do know a bartender who makes specialty cocktails. I can bring her in and have her make the best Bloody Mary that she knows how to make, and then I'll make one next to her. So you make your Bloody Mary, I'll make my Bloody Mary, and we'll do our taste tests. We'll explain it, and she'll be all like, I use this, and I use this, and these ingredients, and we mix them together, and I shook it with that, and we added this, and we added that, and garnished it with and I'll be all like, yeah, I just did a fucking shot of whiskey. I mean, it's better than a Bloody Mary. Because the whole thing about a Bloody Mary is that it's the morning after drink, right? You already made bad decisions. You drank too much the night before. You stayed up too late. You made bad decisions. Now you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to drink whatever the fuck that is with tomato juice and salt and pepper and Worcester sauce and Tabasco and celery and garlic powder and horseradish? Really? And a little bit of lemon juice? Really? And then on top of all that, you're going to throw in some vodka? Really? Ugh. You already made a night of bad decisions. Why are you going to kick off the next day making bad decisions? The only reason why Bloody Marys taste good to people is because they're hungover. They're already in pain. That's like when you come up to a guy who has like an alligator whose jaws are just clamped down on his junk, just like tonk. The alligator is just biting his nads off, just chewing his dick, just he's a big fucking alligator chewing his gonads, and he's like, slap me, and you're like, all right, smack. He's like, I didn't feel a thing. Like, of course you didn't feel a thing. You're already in pain, you dumb idiot. That's what a Bloody Mary is. Bloody Mary is a slap in the face when you already have an alligator chewing on your dick. It's a cocktail for hungover people. Hungover people whose brains are already bigger than their skull. They got bloodshot eyes. Their tongue tastes like a sewer. They can't breathe through their nose because they're all clogged up and their allergies are acting up and their body's aching because they didn't sleep enough and they can't find their shoes. They got one sock on. They got their shirts on backwards. They can't find their car keys. They're just wrecked. They're absolutely wrecked human beings. They wake up in the morning like, I feel terrible. I think I'm going to throw up. And then their friend's like, here, have a Bloody Mary. And they drink the Bloody Mary and they go, this isn't as bad as what I feel like. But if they felt good, like if you were like, it's lunchtime, right? It's lunchtime. It's the middle of the day. You have all the energy. You're coming off a great morning of work. You've gotten a several tasks done. You're in the middle of your portfolio. You're cranking through clients. You're calling people. You're getting stuff done. You're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything's working and great. And everything's great. And then you get a Bloody Mary. Like then it tastes like shit because it is way worse than the day you're having. Way worse than the day you're having. But if the day you're having is garbage already because you woke up and your face was in the cat litter box because you were drunk the night before and you didn't know what to do and you woke up in a pool of your own vomit because you just wrecked yourself the night before, well, yeah, Bloody Mary sounds pretty good in the morning. I mean, that's all you got. So, make a bacon and egg Bloody Mary? Absolutely not. I'm not going to ruin bacon and eggs. Ugh, no. And that's just the thing. If you're making bacon and eggs, you have bacon and eggs. You've got bacon and eggs right there. Why are you going to put them in tomato juice? That's just that's just mean to the bacon. If we say bacon enough, he's going to show up, right? He's going to be all like, I've been summoned. uh, I want to get 11 hours, but I don't want to stay up till 3 o'clock. So I'm going to wrap this up. It's 12:30. I'm going to wrap this up at 1 o'clock. We got 6 hours. That's good enough. I'm going to wrap this up at 1 o'clock. I've got an early morning. We've got to go to the DMV. I've got to print out a couple of documents for my dumb kid. And then we got to go to the DMV so he can get his student license. He has yet to do the things that he needs to do to make sure he has the stuff that he needs to have, which is email me the document that I need to print. But we'll get that done in the morning before we leave. Because I am the father of the year. We are gonna resume our forum shows. Maybe not before the end of the year, but we're definitely gonna resume the forum shows. I am setting up a space in the distillery for live one-on-ones. I'm in the talks with a local comedian to have a in-person, two-person chat show. I don't know what that show is going to look like yet, but I think it's going to be Monday nights, and I think we're going to be. I think it's going to be mostly him running the show, and me kind of being a straight man to his comedy. I think that's probably how it's going to shape up. But we really don't have a plan for the show yet. Maybe get some guests on the show because I've got a 6-sided table, which means I can have 2 more guests join us. We got a lot of potential for the distillery. A lot of potential going on at the distillery right now. I'm going to have this space. I'm going to be using that space, and we're going to be doing stuff with the space. It's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a distiller in the oil patch at the Old Humble Distilling Company. 17 times 22 is 374. Divided by 60 is 6 hours and a quarter. 6 hours and 15 minutes, give or take. Not a bad night. I'll take this. It's a good night. Anyway, time to start winding down, I suppose. I mean, I'm going to keep the chat open. I'm not gonna wrap up the chat. I'm going to keep the chat open. And I'm going to try tomorrow to cut the video to bring I need to get this off my chest segment out for the next. The next video release. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to watch it again, see if I like it, but I may just do it as a set-aside car rant. You and your fucking babies need to get off their ass, go find their own goddamn way in the world. You can't be sitting there. You cannot be sitting here coddling their goddamn nutsack the whole fucking time. These kids have got to go out and find their own place. You can't keep trying to stick them in a hole where you think they belong. They've got to find their own spot. Ugh, Jesus. Sunflowers, it was good to see you again, too. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming out to the show. Thank you for being a part of this wonderful broadcast brought to you by patrons Mr. Jiggs and William Hall, as well as the Old Humble Distilling Company. Me, the Old Humble guy, these and all of y'all. Y'all made this happen. Y'all make this happen. I, of course, make it happen as well. We couldn't do it without me. So special thanks to me. We couldn't do it without me. Mr. Jiggs, what is the question? Have a great night. Oh, that's not a question. It's a comment. I do need to put my chat window back up over here so I can see it. I'm going to take it off the chat window here, go back to the main cam, and open up my chat window. This is all live production notes as I'm doing this. Okay, so there's the chat window there so I can see what's going on. But Jiggs, you are going to have your name on the wall at the distillery as well as William Hall. And hopefully among others. I am going to work on a program that gets people the ceiling tiles replaced from the office ceiling tiles to copper ceiling tiles and begin replacing the ceiling tiles in the distillery. And patrons and members can have their names on the ceiling tiles, which would be really cool. I think it'd be really cool. Be memorialized forever in the distillery. With your own personalized message. And I really do want one fucking person, to just put a footprint on the ceiling tile. It's a little copper ceiling tile and have a footprint on it, so that when people come in and say, "Yeah, uh, that one's got we got a footprint on the ceiling," and they'd be like, "Really?" I'm like, not only are you gullible, but it actually happened. There it is. No, well, maybe. I was gonna say we're not gonna have the tiles in the bathroom personalized, but we might. Uh, maybe we'll put the tiles in the bathroom and have them be personalized as well. We'll see. I don't know. I just like the idea of having, the ceiling doesn't need to look like an office ceiling. I like the idea of having the ceiling be personalized, let it have a little bit of character, let it have a little feel to it, a little je ne sais quoi. You know what I mean? That's a French term, which means je ne, I don't know quoi. That's what the French term means. Um, so if you don't know quoi in France, you say je ne sais quoi. Um, I mean, nobody knows what qua is. That's the whole point of the saying, that the qua is unknown, and qua is what we seek out. In general, we seek out the qua. So I like it. I think having copper ceiling tiles would give it that kind of character, and more importantly, people who want to help support the distillery can help put those. It's like the memorial bricks in front of stadiums and places where they could put their family crest and logos and names, and in memory of Kroger's or whatever fucking thing that corporations want to put. Like, we all miss you, Paw Paw. And now it's a brick in front of LSU Stadium or something. But nobody ever goes to the games there. They just want to make sure there's a brick there because their papa used to go to games at LSU, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the fucking details. Get off my back. Leave me alone. It's just something I've been thinking of. Back off. Don't make me come to your house and pee in your Cheerios, because I wouldn't do it. Anyway, Old Humble After Dark. Phone lines are open. 1-800-GET-HUMBLE. Call Humble. What did I say the phone number was? 1-800-CALL-HUMBLE. 1-800-DRINK-WHISKEY. 1-800-OLD HUMBLE. OLDHUMBL. OLDHUMBL. Yeah, that's more than enough letters. 1-800-OLD HUMBLE. Phone lines are open. First time callers get sent to the beginning of the line. Conspiracy theories also get sent to the beginning of the line. Let me know what you're thinking, America. Because I want to ridicule your stupid conspiracies. Uh, anyway, fuck this. We got to go to bed. I got shit to do. Y'all got shit to do. Everybody's got a busy morning. Thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I've had fun. I really do. I keep coming back to these Wednesday night shows because they keep being fun. When they're not fun, I won't do them. But I'd like to do more shows, and I'm going to start reimagining how we're going to do it and how we're going to do it better. Because I'd like to do better. On the one hand, I'd like to do better, but on the other hand, I mean, fuck it. I'm having fun. I can just keep being fun and having fun. But I should do better. I really should. I really should do better shows. But the thing that holds me back from doing, from putting, I don't want to say putting a lot of effort, putting a lot of resources into this, is that I'm a distiller with a YouTube channel. I'm not a YouTuber with a distillery. So first and foremost, the focus has to be on making and selling whiskey. So tonight I was in College Station until about 8 o'clock. Then I hit the road and came home, and I had to pick up a couple of things from the distillery and got back here. That's why the show started at 10:30 and not 10. But I may do 10:30 like going forward. That may be like a permanent change. Do starting at 10:30 instead of 10. Give me a little bit more time to prep things up and get some graphics and stuff done. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Just bear with me. All right, guys. Be awesome to each other. And like I said, I appreciate the support. I will continue to appreciate the support, and I will do everything I can to show that appreciation. Be awesome to each other. Be awesome to strangers. Go find a stranger and do something awesome. Thank you to our 2,480 plus subscribers and both of our members. Thank you very much for your support. Cheers and good night. This has been an award-winning production. Special thanks to our super fans, Mr. Jiggs and William Hall, who helped make this all possible. And a big thank you to the Old Humble guy, without whom we could not do the show. Continue to be awesome to each other. And until next time, cheers.